Strange Truth You Never Knew, Part 31. The extinction of the dinosaurs was not the most terrifying extinction event. The Great Giant Extinction Event was the deadliest tragedy in the history of the Earth. This event occurred about 255 million years ago. It wiped out 96% of life across the globe. The duration lasted for 1 million years and divided into two phases. The first phase was the continuous eruption of supervolcanoes. When much of the Earth's surface was covered by flowing molten lava, the atmosphere was even worse, when completely enveloped by layers of volcanic dust and filled with exceptionally toxic gases, glass and methane. This led to the second phase, which is the volcanic winter. In this phase, carbon dioxide took over the entire ocean and rapidly depleted the amount of oxygen, leading to mass deaths of countless organisms due to lack of oxygen. Many exotic animals that once ruled the Earth for millions of years went extinct in this event, like the species Dinogogon or the kilobi arthropods that existed for 250 million years, and the Dimetrodon species. Relative to today's mammals, the surviving 4% of organisms are the reason we exist as we do now.
Strange Fact That You Never Knew, Part 32.
There could be a sea monster completely real in 2017. A silent gas exploration vessel, while on duty at a depth of 830 meters below the seabed, accidentally discovered a giant skeleton up to 30 meters long. What's scary is that the skeleton does not match any type of marine life currently on Earth. Many believe it is the bones of a whale. However, a whale's spine has 3 protruding bony caps, while this creature's has only 2. The silent vessel tried to collect the skeleton for study, but it seems to have decomposed a long time ago and become too brittle. So at the slightest touch it immediately crumbled. It might be a prehistoric creature that's not extinct, or it could be a sea monster that humans have not yet discovered. This is proof that what we know about the ocean is far too little.
The Strange Fact You Never Knew, Part 33, Point Nemo.
This is the most isolated place from the rest of the Earth. This small point is the furthest from any land on our planet. It is more than 2,690 kilometers from the nearest island. Interestingly, the main ocean currents do not flow through this place. This leads to a lack of nutrients to support marine life, so almost no marine creatures exist here. Only a few microorganisms and bacteria can survive here. This is where the mysterious bloop sound was recorded. Remarkably, the person who discovered this place did not venture here. Instead, we used computer simulations to find it. Amazingly, astronauts on the International Space Station are closer to Point Nemo than anyone else on Earth. Point Nemo is also known as the spacecraft graveyard, because governments allow their spacecraft and satellites to fall here after they have completed their mission due to the lack of life in this location. The Strange Fact That You Never Knew, Part 34 has a form of monstrous wave that's no different from the alien waves that exist right on Earth. Is silica algae, a creature whose body is made of glass. You didn't hear it wrong. You can see through its skin because it's made of glass. Silica algae absorb sunlight and emit oxygen. They produce 20 to 30% of total oxygen on Earth, even more than the largest forest in the world, the Amazon, produces. They live everywhere from streams and ponds to the ocean, nearly everywhere in extremely large quantities, so big that we can see them from space. Sometimes silica algae are trapped underground due to drought, but they can survive in that environment for up to 150 years. It can be said this creature is evidence that if they exist, alien life forms can exist in many different forms. There's no need to follow the pattern of living things on Earth. It could be a metallic body, glass, or even silicon. The Strange Truth You Never Knew, Part 35. This is why you should never stand near a whale corpse. When a whale dies, its organs start to decompose and create a lot of methane gas inside its body. Unfortunately, the whale's skin prevents this gas from escaping, creating a gigantic gas landmine inside the whale, which can explode up to 72 kilometers per h and launches the whale debris over 50 m. The explosion is tremendously terrifying. If you stand nearby, you can suffer serious injuries, even death, and don't even dream of standing on its back, as it could launch you like a rocket. There was a case in Taiwan when, while transporting a whale on the road, it suddenly exploded, and immediately houses, cars, and pedestrians nearby were covered by the whale debris. In another case in 1970, a whale was tried to be exploded by a group of men using dynamite. The result was all people around it were showered with a hail of whale soup. A car near it was also blown up.
Strange Facts You Never Know, Part 36.
Israel's space security chief, Professor Haim Ez, confirms that humans have been successfully communicating with extraterrestrials for many years. He says that President Donald Trump is well aware of the existence of the extraterrestrials, not just one, but many different species of extraterrestrials in an alliance named the Galactic Alliance, and the Galactic Alliance only communicates with the US government and has asked the US not to reveal this to the world. He claims the extraterrestrials still don't want to show themselves to all humankind because the world will turn chaotic as we are not ready for this eventuality, and so they are waiting. In the future, humankind will develop into a more advanced civilization, and it is oddly during his term, President Trump established the Space Force of the United States, which is essentially a military arm for space. Don't you think that is just a coincidence?
A Strange Fact You Never Knew, Part 37. We may have gotten an alien signal.
Recently, a group of Canadian astronomers came across a peculiar signal from outer space. This signal is called a fast radio burst. These are radio signals coming from beyond our galaxy and are recorded by observatories with a duration of approximately 1/1,000,000th of a second and are created by an astrophysical process requiring high energy. Interestingly, this signal repeated accurately every 16.35 days, and the astronomers were absolutely stunned by its deliberate repetition of this signal. However, this mysterious signal is from a galaxy about 5,000 light years away from ours, and the astronomers still can't figure out what exactly is its real cause. One hypothesis is that we've accidentally picked up radio waves of an advanced civilization somewhere in space. Do you think that beyond our vast universe, advanced civilizations with cutting-edge technology are observing us?
Strange fact you never knew, part 38.
The former Defense Minister of Canada confirms that extraterrestrials exist and accuses global leaders of concealing this fact. He asserts that aliens arrived on Earth thousands of years ago and have granted humans their technologies, some of which we still use today. They are still living peacefully with us today. Remarkably, not just one, but 80 different species are living amidst humans. Specifically, he mentioned a species called the Nordic aliens, who look very similar to humans. He also mentioned that aliens have often prevented nuclear war from taking place. They warned that if humans continue to abuse these weapons, it could disrupt the balance of the universe. Belief in aliens is already challenging. If governments were to declare that 80 different alien species are integrating and cohabiting with humans on Earth, this could throw the world into chaos.
The strange fact you never knew, part 39. It's now possible to be revived after being dead for a century.
This is now entirely possible. A US organization has successfully frozen people who have died in anticipation of future technologies that will allow their resurrection. They store customers' bodies in a liquid nitrogen bath at -196 degrees Celsius. All bodily information is collected and monitored by a computer. Although this method is quite expensive, costing between $30,000 and $200,000, there are hundreds of customers participating, and their bodies are currently being stored for the day of resurrection. In fact, some customers have also chosen to freeze their medications. However, according to them, some experts argue that if the soul and reincarnation are real, this method might contradict that. What is your opinion on this? The Strange Fact You Never Knew, Part 40 features a prehistoric sea monster that even eats the super shark Megalodon. This is the superfish Leviathan, belongs to the whale family, but has a jaw like a T-Rex. It is up to 18 meters long, equivalent to a modern whale, but has brutal hunting skills. Because it is too big, so its main food source is large sea creatures, including other whales. It has a bone up to 3 m long, 3 times larger than the killer whale. With a super wide mouth that can swallow a full-grown person, its teeth are up to 36 cm and bigger than a human calf, making it the creature with the biggest teeth in the animal kingdom. This monster lived at the same time as the super shark Megalodon, and likely they are enemies of each other, even eat each other.